Test 1, 2, 3.
Check, check, check.
Sounds good in my ears. Level's good, Kennedy? You can talk to us, you know.
I sound better than Eric does, I think.
Yeah, well. If you don't say so yourself.
Went to the school of Eric Bach, patting yourself on the back.
That's right. Yeah. Tuition is high there.
We're not live, are we?
No.
And he's gone.
Another Saturday in the shoe as we welcome you to this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Today, the Cobras of Coker have made the 2.5-hour trip northwest here to Hickory to take on the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears in this South Atlantic Conference game here this Saturday afternoon. Eric Bach, Jeremy Zalaka, so glad you're with us courtside here inside the shoe. The Bears 0-3 in 2022, coming off a really, there's just no way around it. It was a bad loss on Wednesday night at Wingate, but 2 close losses to UVA Wise and Carson Newman here on this floor before that. And it's a chance to get back on track tonight against a Coker team who they've already beaten this year by 15 down in Hartsville in November. Hey, Eric, Jeremy. Brandy Hudson has played really consistently recently. She's in double figures in 11 of her last 12, and they've really leaned on her in the front court. For Coker, a couple of games disrupted because of COVID recently, but they've lost 6 straight, but had a really good showing on Wednesday night. Only a 4-point loss at Catawba, who's in the top 25 in the country, and also lost to Carson Newman and Wingate during that 6-game losing streak. So some of the losses are understandable for the Cobras, and they're looking to avenge a 15-point loss to LR in November, as I mentioned, as we take a look at our keys to the game presented by our friends at Fry Regional Medical Center. And Jay-Z, it's pretty simple for the Bears. After Wednesday night, nothing went right at Wingate.
Yeah, the beauty of the basketball schedule is you don't have much time to dwell on those games that don't go too well. And trying to put Wednesday behind you and move on to Saturday, you only have a couple days to get ready for Saturday. So they're looking to just flush that away, and they're going to start with the defensive end. And it always starts on defense. They say defense wins championships, and Coker comes in tonight averaging just 58.9 points per game. So Lenoir-Rhyne has to take care of the defensive end and hope that leads to some offensive transition and some easy buckets on the offensive end.
Bears have had turnover problems the entire season, and that plagued them again on Wednesday night against Wingate. Now, as we take a look at our head-to-head matchup today, it's in the front court. As I mentioned, Brandy Hudson, she had a career-high 27 points a couple games ago against Carson Newman, but this is the matchup in the front court. It's Sakita Joyner for Coker and Brandy Hudson for the Bears, and you look at the numbers, they're pretty similar. Joyner in the top 5 in the sack and rebounding at over 8 rebounds per game, but shoot about the same percentage from the field and score about the same amount of points per game as Hudson, as I mentioned, in double figures, 11 of her last 12. But this could go a long way. This matchup could in deciding this one this afternoon.
Yeah, Brandy, one of the most consistent players over the last about 3 weeks of the season, and had a good showing against Wingate. And, she has a lot of energy on the court, and when she can get some rebounds and some putbacks, it helps the offense and get some easy baskets when the Bears are struggling on the offensive end.
So we'll take a short break, come right back with the starting lineups, a couple of minutes away from tip-off here inside the shoe between Coker and Lenoir-Rhyne on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Welcome back inside Shuford Gymnasium. Just a couple minutes away from tip between Coker and Lenoir-Rhyne on this Saturday afternoon as we take a look at our starting lineups presented by Everett Chevrolet. Ready for a nicer, newer ride? Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is always here to help by providing family-friendly customer care since 1967. Visit them in person at one of their 2 convenient locations in Hickory and Morganton, or start your search online at everettchevy.com as we look at the Coker lineup first. Cobras, as I mentioned, coming off just a 4-point loss to Catawba, who's number 24 in the country. Abigail Kiesling, Ashante Nelson, Sakita Joyner, Rhea Coley, and Deja Lambert, the 5 for the Cobras, as we'll pause for the national anthem. Now let's flip it over to the LR starting lineup. Bears had a couple of, as I mentioned in the open, close losses here at home. But Megan Lancetal gets one of her first starts of the season. Hudson, obviously, along with Emily Harmon, who is both the leading scorer and rebounder on this team. Maddie Dillinger gets the start. She had a career-high 24 points in the first meeting between these two teams back in November down in Hartsville, and Blakely Crooks gets another start. So Lancetal, you see Graham Smith changing up the starting lineups recently. Those four on the right have been pretty consistent in the starting lineup, but that fifth spot in the lineup has been a revolving door, and maybe Graham Smith, or I'm sure Graham Smith hopes to find somebody that sticks, and maybe he's hoping Lancetal does that today.
Yeah, just the second start of the year for Megan Lancetal. That kind of rotates between Blakely Crooks and Tilda Lindstrom gets in there, Hannah McClung, so that, as you mentioned, that fifth spot in the starting lineup is sort of rotates around, but tonight it'll be Lancetal getting the assignment.
Randy Hudson, the only Bear in double figures on Wednesday night in the loss to Wingate. Emily Harmon, the reigning SAC Freshman of the Year, having no sophomore slump, over 16 points per game, just under 7.5 rebounds per game, and is the leading free throw shooter in the SAC. So if there were ever two teams that needed a win, it's these two today. So expect a scrappy matchup today. Both teams are kind of in desperation mode as we've reached the end of January. The season is flying by pretty quickly here.
Yeah, that conference tournament seems like it's just right around the corner. And you think about how long a basketball season is. How long ago does it feel like the LR and Coker played back in November? It feels like
before Thanksgiving,
a lifetime ago already.
Dillinger and Joyner will jump it up, and off we go. First of two today between Lenoir-Rhyne and Coker. Glad you're with us on the Bears Sports Network. There's the matchup we talked about. Hudson and Joyner matched up.
They're going to get Hudson a post touch, and they do.
And she turns it over. Nelson stopped at the free throw line. And this is Kiesling, who had 15 points on Wednesday night against Catawba to lead the Cobras. Pulling a three is Deja Lambert off the left iron. Dillinger corrals the rebound.
Got caught going underneath that screen to give an open look to Lambert, but the Bears were able to just grab the defensive rebound there underneath by Dillinger.
Lancetal off the screen, feeds Dillinger on the block. She has the size advantage and uses it off the glass.
Looks like the Bears are making an effort to get down low early, with Hudson getting a post touch and Dillinger getting a post touch on the first two possessions.
Maddie only 2 points on Wednesday night at Wingate, so already has tied that number here in the first minute of the game today. Here she is on Joyner. And the three from the wing is missed by Coley as she hit the deck, and now the Bears will look to run. Harmon off the foot of Kiesling.
Good idea there. She had Blakely Crooks streaking in for a fast break layup, but good defense there by Kokra to get a foot on it. Make them reset to a half-court set instead of a fast break 2-on-1 opportunity.
It's one thing the Bears really want to improve upon is their fast break offense. It's been basically non-existent the past 3 games. Lazy pass there, stolen by Kiesling, and now the Cobras will look to push. But already 2 turnovers for the Bears in the first 90 seconds of the game, and that's just been a theme of the season for LR.
3 possessions and 2 turnovers. Got to get that cleaned up really quickly.
Cobras swinging it around the perimeter. Joyner doesn't take many threes and opts for the baseline drive and gets blocked by Lancetal, and a held ball is called and will stay with the Cobras with 6 on the shot clock. Good defense there by Lancetal, who was really good defensively last Saturday here against Carson Newman.
Her 8th block shot of the season. She gets her hands on a lot of balls defensively.
Joyner late clock, drives down the lane line and muscles it up, and good defense there by Dillinger. Harmon looking to run. Emily slashes and gets the tough 2 to drop.
It's a big basket when you're struggling a little bit offensively to get an easy one to fall early, especially for a player like Emily Harmon. Hopefully get that confidence up, and maybe she can have another special performance here inside the shoe.
Only 5 points Wednesday night as Joyner gets the feed and will head to the free throw line. Good feed there from Ashanti Nelson to find her. And the foul's on Lancetal, the first on her and the first on LR.
Strong defense by LR here early, making Coker work pretty hard, getting their hands on some shots and contesting others.
Joyner, the hometown product from Hartsville, shoots free throws at 58% on the year, but was perfect on the first. And buries both free throws for the first 2 Cobra points of the day.
Without Hannah McClung in the lineup, Emily Harmon will be running the point, and then probably will shift to the 2 guard once Hannah subs in.
Hudson spins and will head to the free throw line as Joyner gets whistled for the foul. Good strong move there by Hudson. You've seen her post moves just steadily improve as the season has gone on. Randy, the JUCO transfer from Chicago, leaves the first free throw short. %68% from the foul line this year for Hudson. She splits the pair. Hope Richardson, the senior from Darlington, South Carolina, will come into the game, replacing Coley. Early 3-point lead for LR, less than 3 minutes in. Joyner not afraid to play on the perimeter. She's known more as a post player, but handles the ball a decent amount on the outside for the Cobras. Here she is with 4 to shoot. Left-handed drive and spin, and a foul on Dillinger on the drive.
That's a tough one right there. You just played 28 seconds of great defense, and to get whistled for a foul there with 2 seconds on the clock, now they get 20 more to try and find something offensively, where it looked like the Bears had that one sniffed out pretty well.
First on Dillinger. Joyner's jumpers rattles in. Touched about every part of the rim and the backboard, but
first made field goal of the day for Coker.
All 4 points to Joyner. And another LR turnover as Dillinger just couldn't get through the mess of bodies there in the lane, and the pass was too hot for her. Already the 3rd LR turnover.
And all 3 are on post entries. So, as we said, making a concerted effort to get it down there, but haven't been super successful in connecting on that entry pass.
Joyner will take a break. Haley McClure comes in for her. Long 2 is partially blocked. And Lancetal, can she chase it down? Yes, she can. Gets it back to Harmon. Dillinger doesn't take many threes. Gives it to Hudson. That was a good choice as Brandy's got her first bucket of the day.
Brandy gets the block on the defensive end, rewarded with the paint touch down low, and she takes advantage of it, give the Bears a 7-4 lead early.
Kiesling almost threw it away and wisely held on to it. Lambert got past Crooks. Easy 2 there.
It looked like just a miscommunication on defense. I think Blakely was thinking maybe a switch or had some help there on the left-handed drive, but none to be found, and an easy bucket for Lambert.
15 minutes a game for the freshman from Mount Airy, North Carolina. Good-looking drive there. Open 3 in the corner for Lancetal. That's what she came here to do, and she hits her first 3 of the day.
As a shooter, it's always nice to see that first one go down early in a game, too, and hopefully, that opens up a couple more looks and a couple more knockdown threes from Lancetal.
Another driving layup there for Coker. That one from Ashanti Nelson, a senior from Durham, North Carolina. 2 teams trading baskets here the past few possessions. Dillinger pivots. Nifty post move there. She drops it in with the left hand.
LR perfect 5 for 5 from the field so far in the first 5 minutes of this one, which is going to lead well if they don't miss a shot all day. Right?
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if has that
Can't
ever
lose.
happened?
You can't lose.
Can't possibly lose. Lambert falls down and turns it over. So that will take us to the first media timeout of the day. Offense has picked up the past couple minutes, a 2-point Bear lead over Coker on the Bear Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Back here inside the shoe, Eric Bach, Jeremy Zalaka, glad you're with us, as it's somehow the second to last Saturday of January and the last January home game for the Bears. So crazy how the season has simultaneously dragged on and flown by at the same time. But a perfect start from the field for the Bears, 5 for 5. 4 different LR players have scored. It's a 4-point lead for Lenoir-Rhyne over Coker. The Bears have distributed the ball. They've run some nice sets. The offense is looking good here to start. Dillinger. Harmon's one-arm pass intended for Lindstrom gets intercepted, but the turnover problems seem to have carried into today.
Lindstrom, the first Bear off the bench, too, the 6th player today, is made a quick substitution.
Mariah Mitchum in the game for Coker. She draws the foul there on the drive. The freshman from Blythewood, South Carolina. As Hannah Stoll comes in for the first time today for the Bears. This is her 4th game in the LR uniform. She's played exactly 20 minutes in each of her first 3 games. Made a big splash in her as Coker with a bad turnover there as Coley and Kiesling were not on the same page, but Stoll 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals in her LR debut against UVA-Y. A bit quieter offensively in the last 2, but she has clearly brought a spark off the bench for Graham Smith as Hudson goes to work off the glass.
Yeah, Hannah Stoll's a name these Coker fans should be familiar with. Started her career there, was a member of the all-freshman SAC all-freshman team in her first season with Coker, and has made a couple stops before ending here at Lenoir-Rhyne.
A 3-pointer drops in there for Kiesling. The leading 3-point shooters on this team around 35%. Harmon stops and travels. One too many steps there for Emily. Already a pair of turnovers for her.
5 turnovers in about 6 minutes of action is not going to get it done on the offensive end, no matter how many shots you knock down.
Mitchum off the heel. Offensive rebound turns into a travel for Coker. As Coley ran into her own player, got knocked to the ground, and the third Cobra turnover. So 8 combined turnovers here in the first quarter, the first 7 minutes of the game.
LR definitely feast or famine on the offensive end. 6 of 6 from the floor, but 5 turnovers. So when they get it up, they're not going to miss, but got to take care of the rock.
It's a bucket or a turnover. No in between. Harmon off a screen from Hudson. Dillinger's just been a lot more involved these first 7 minutes as Hudson double dribbled. She put it on the floor once, picked it up, and put it on the floor again. And yet another turnover. So the trend continues. 12 possessions for the Bears, 6 made shots, 6 turnovers.
Half and half.
Joyner back in the game now. Coley looked like she may have traveled there. Open 3 from the wing is just a little bit short from Kiesling, and Harmon pushing the other way. Stoll can make this shot, and she does. 2 corner threes for the Bears, who remain perfect from the field. The lead is 6.
Stoll coming off the bench and providing some impact for Graham Smith right away.
LR into a zone defense now, it looks like. Maybe not. In the middle of the lane there is
defense.
Nelson.
We can't even figure out what
I
defense
know.
is.
It looked like a
Coker
zone.
Get an open shot.
Yeah. Shanti Nelson, 6.5 points per game. It's her first bucket of the day.
I know for LR, you got to be a little concerned here because you're not going to shoot 100% all day.
Well, nope.
There you go.
Harmon with a good look there, but she missed it, and here comes Joyner.
As well as they're knocking down shots to only be up 4 right now. You'd like to be up a little more when you're hitting 87% of your shots.
Mitchum gets ripped by Hudson. Brandy with a full head of steam. Got stripped, but it'll stay with the Bears. Good defense there by Nelson to run her down.
Yeah, good transition D from Coker, not allowing the easy basket and making LR earn it as there's 27 seconds left on the shot clock.
Mallory Sherrill in the game for the first time for the Bears. Redshirt junior from Statesville. Had a season-high 8 points on Wednesday in 23 minutes against Wingate. A hard screen there from Sherrill turns into another turnover.
And she was open on the roll there. If that pass is about 6 inches lower, that's an easy layup for Sherrill. But just couldn't connect.
Less than a minute to go. 4-point lead for LR here in the opening quarter. Joyner jab step. Goes through the chest of Hudson, creates some space, but missed the shot. And gets whistled for a foul on the rebound. She's not happy with the call. Just the second foul, actually the third team foul on Coker. 2 on Joyner, 1 on Richardson. And Brandy Hudson will head to the free throw line for the second time here in this first quarter.
She now has the most free throw attempts for any Lenoir-Rhyne player on the season. She draws a lot of contact down there in the post.
Only listed at 5'10", but very strong player in the front court. She splits the pair again. Rebound tipped around and eventually grabbed by Coker. Nelson will hold for the final shot with the shot clock off here at the end of the first quarter. Lambert on the wing. Gets a screen. 2 seconds. She'll pull a long 2. Miss everything. And that will be the end of the first quarter. The Bears shoot 7 for 8 from the floor in the first quarter, but turn it over 7 times and lead Coker by 5 after 1 here on the Bears Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Back here inside the shoe. Glad you're with us on the Bear Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach and Jeremy Zalaka here with you. I don't know if I've ever seen a quarter like that for any team. The Bears shoot 7 for 8 from the floor, 2 for 2 from the three-point line, and yet only lead by 5 because they turned the ball over 7 times in that first quarter. It was the definition of feast or famine for LR in that opening frame.
You keep Coker scoreless for the last 2:03 of the quarter. You'd hope to come out of that with more than a 5-point lead, but now you got to take care of the ball and keep trying to get those looks, those open looks that they've been able to get in the first quarter. And if you stay this hot throughout 4 quarters, I think even you can overcome some turnover problems. Trying to figure out the possession arrow, it seems like here.
They had that held ball. LR got the tip. And there was the Lancettle block down there against Coker gave the Cobras the ball, so
even the coaches are laughing. I'm not sure what
I think it's correctly LR basketball. Yeah. Graham Smith and Melissa DeVore sharing a laugh between quarters there about whatever the problem was. Hudson gets the first touch. McClung thought about a 3. Tilda Lindstrom way too strong on that short corner jumper. Rebound to Coker.
Maybe she anticipated some contact there or something. She had an open look, but a little strong with it.
And she's been good from that spot. She tends to make those from the short corner. Kiesling almost lost it and then double dribbled. We've seen both teams get called for a double dribble here in the first 10-plus minutes of this game.
I think that's a reason why coaches don't want you to pass up an open look. I think Kiesling had an open 3 right off the pass back to her and instead tried to create something off the dribble and ended up getting herself in some trouble.
Stull starts the second quarter on the floor. Made a 3 in the first. Hudson passed up the free throw lane jumper and goes up strong for the layup there.
Game high 8 points early for Brandy Hudson, 3 for 3 from the field.
2 rebounds, a steal, and a block as well for Brandy, who's been the most consistent player offensively the past few weeks for LR. Nelson fouled.
Yeah, no arguing that one.
She got whacked.
Got her money's worth on that foul, did Brandy Hudson.
First on Hudson. And Dillinger will come in for Hudson. Maddie's got 2 fouls. Lancettle and Hudson with 1 foul apiece. Ashanti Nelson will shoot free throws. She's a 70% free throw shooter this season. Gets the first to go. First free throw attempts of the day for her. And she splits the pair. Harmon, who is also the leading rebounder on this team, in addition to the leading scorer, runs the ball down in the corner.
She does it all for Lenoir-Rhyne. Leads the team in assists as well.
Good pass in there from Stull to Sherrill. Ends up an open look for Dillinger, who knocks it down. Maddie had the most points in her collegiate career against Coker the first time back in November with 24. She's got 6 here in the first half.
Flexing her right hand after that, too. I'm not sure if she jammed a finger or something.
Good look there for Mitchum, who knocks it down from the top of the circle. Second 3 of the game for the Cobras. Cuts it back to a 5-point deficit. Stull wanted the ball quicker than she got it from Dillinger. Now gets it back to Harmon with 15. Good defense on this possession for Coker. Dillinger pivots. Called for the travel. They say she dragged her pivot foot. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Graham Smith disagrees, and I didn't see a drag of the pivot foot either. But going the other way, Coker's ball. 22-17, LR lead.
8th turnover for the Bears. Kiesling. Mitchum, who just made the three, dumps it off. Had a wide open look there to Diamond Jackson, and it ends up in a turnover for Coker. That one's going to hurt.
Yeah,
wide open layup. Jackson couldn't catch it, and then it ends up out of bounds off the Cobras.
It was a good look, which should have ended up in an open layup and 2 points. Instead, it's LR's ball going the other way.
Mariah Mitchum has played well on offense for the Cobras as Nelson steals that one from Sherrill. Doesn't have the numbers. The Cobras will reset in the half court. Head coach Melissa DeVore barking out orders. With 15 on the shot clock, the Cobras into their set. Lambert cut off by Crooks. From the wing, Kiesling's three spins out, but an offensive rebound for Jackson. Only the second offensive rebound of the game for the Cobras. The Bears have yet to have an offensive rebound. Nelson, nothing but net. And it's just a 2-point game.
Yeah, quick 6-0 spurt for the Cobras, right back in this thing.
I guess there really hasn't been many offensive rebound opportunities for the Bears. They've only missed 2 shots the whole game, but only 11 shot attempts here. 14 minutes into the game, probably not so good as Dillinger traveled again.
Yeah, that one was a travel.
Yeah, that one definitely was. Just extended herself too far and moved that pivot foot.
Good start for Maddie, though. 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting. Got a board, an assist, a block. Filling out the stat sheet.
Harmon's only taken 2 shots so far, made one of them. She only had 8 points in the first matchup down at Coker's. There's another Cobra turnover. So some missed opportunities, you can say, for Coker here in the second quarter. The way that things have gone for them defensively, they could be ahead if they had a little bit better execution on the offensive end.
Both teams seems like leaving some possessions out on the board that they'd like to have back. Maybe later in the game it might come back to bite them.
Dillinger again fades away, misses, and they say off of Tilda Lindstrom. It looked like Nelson slapped that ball out of bounds, but they give it back to the Cobras. Hudson comes back in for the Bears. So Lindstrom, Crooks, Harmon, Dillinger, and Hudson, the 5. So 4 out of the 5 starters. Tilda Lindstrom was the first one off the bench for Graham Smith today. This is just her 3rd game back after she had some COVID problems over the holiday. Fading away that time is Lambert missing, but an offensive rebound and free throws coming for Rhea Coley as Emily Harmon picks up her first foul of the game.
Both teams already running 9 deep so far here in the first quarter and a half of the game, letting the bench get involved.
Coley knocks down the first free throw. Only 50% on the season for the junior from Raleigh. Went to Millbrook High School in the state capital. Haley McClure comes back in for the 2nd time today for the Cobras.
All square at 22, halfway through this second quarter.
Next whistle will take us to our media timeout here in this quarter. You always want something good to happen before media. Go into media timeout feeling a little better about yourself. And the Bears can do just that as Brandy Hudson draws the foul there on Kiesling. And she will be shooting 2 when you come back to the shoe. All square at 22 on the Bears Sports Network.
Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Like our printer isn't working. Needs more token.
Back here inside the shoe, just under 5 minutes before halftime. Lenoir-Rhyne and Coker tied up at 22 here in this SAC conference game on a Saturday afternoon in Hickory. Bears haven't scored in 3.5 minutes. And Coker has been on an 8-0 run in that time. Trying to break that streak here with Brandy Hudson at the stripe for LR. She's been the only Bear to attempt free throws in this game. It's her 5th attempt. She's made 3 of them and gives the Bears the lead back. But if she makes this one, she's back in double figures now for the 12th time in her last 13 games. But of course,
She'll make them wait. The announcer jinx, but
it is undefeated. And we have a whistle.
Timeout?
And a timeout for Coker. Nelson was in trouble there. It'll be just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stick right here and tell you about Oz's Jewelers, your hometown jewelry store of 38 years. Oz and his team proudly serve the community with beautiful pieces for every occasion, from birthdays, proposals, and just because I love you gifts. Stop by today or like us on Facebook for exclusive deals and auctions every Wednesday. That's Oz's Jewelers here in Hickory, proud sponsor of the Bears Sports Network. Again, it's hard to overstate how bizarre this game has been offensively for the Bears. They lead by a point, but they're 9 for 12 from the field and 2 for 2 from three-point land. 75% would be out of this world for a game. So have to believe the Bears won't keep that shooting clip up, but they've just turned the ball over so many times, 10 times in 15 minutes, that things have evened out.
We're doing some nice things on the defensive end. Making Coker take some tough shots as that's a step-back jumper.
And it's off the glass and in for Haley McClure. A long 2 there. And Coker is back in front by 1.
I think Coach Graham Smith would be okay with giving up a step-back jump shot from a post player, but found the bottom of the net and the first lead of the game for Coker.
Brooks, she hasn't taken a shot yet. Hudson will take a 3 and knock it down. She can start making that consistently. She turns into an even bigger threat.
4th made three-pointer of the season for Brandy Hudson, stretching the defense a little bit. Respect that jumper.
Good take there from Coker and Abigail Kiesling. Crisscross through a few different defenders to tie things up at 26. Crooks off the bounce, leaves it short off the glass. Nelson falls down, and Tilda Lindstrom whistled for the foul behind her. That was just wrong place, wrong time there for Tilda's. Nelson fell down all on her own in front of her, and then Lindstrom tripped over her. Collision there right in front of the Bear bench. The amount of times the Coker players have run into each other tonight is remarkable, but Coley knocks down the 3. Now all of a sudden, Coker's lightening up from the outside. They made 3 out of their last 4 from three-point land.
They're shooting 83% in this quarter. 5 of 6, 3 of 4 from long range. They raised the Bears' hot shooting. They saw it in the first quarter, and they raised it in the second.
Harmon, too strong, gets her own miss, gives it off to Dillinger, who gets some second chance points there. But that was all Emily Harmon there on the offensive glass.
4th rebound for Harmon of the day as she tries to get another double-double on her ledger.
Dillinger up to 8 points now, so the two post players, Hudson and Dillinger, have combined for 20 of the 28 for the Bears. Nelson, between two defenders, contorts her body and banks it in off the glass.
It's a tough shot, and Coker is on fire right now, hitting everything, 6 of 7, 85% in this quarter. Step backs, floaters, runners, three-pointers, they're hitting them all.
Nelson into double figures now with 10. Hudson thought about giving it off and missed the layup as she got handcuffed there. Bears trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Coker trying to break a 6-game losing streak as Coley misses. Harmon ahead. Crooks gives it off to Dillinger. Good transition offense there, but she can't finish.
Almost got a little bit too close to the basket with Dillinger, but it's hard when you're going full sprint on a fast break to gather yourself on the run, catch, and finish.
Another 3 for Kiesling. The Cobras finally heat check there from the outside. Crooks crisscrosses. Harmon passed up a corner 3, gets into the lane, gives it off to Hudson, who pivots and turns it over.
A lot of contact down there.
Melissa DeVore was there
No
on the
call.
sideline doing the charge signal, saying that she thought Brandy Hudson should have gotten whistled for the charge.
Somebody should have got whistled for
Something. And I tend to agree with DeVore there that Hudson just put that shoulder down.
Still
and
no
now
conversation about it.
The official and Melissa DeVore are done talking about it for now.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. That's the relationship between officials and coaches most of the time, I think. Coley at the elbow. Lefty picks up her dribble, gives it off to Mitchum. Kiesling's not afraid to shoot a 3. This time she gets a much higher percentage shot, and free throws coming for Haley McClure. Been really impressed with Abigail Kiesling coming off a 15-point outing Wednesday night at Catawba, but she's taken the open shots when she's had them and distributed when she hasn't.
Good minutes here from McClure. She had a nice step-back jumper a couple possessions ago, got a big defensive rebound, and now she's getting to the free throw line.
Where she's perfect with the first free throw, the sophomore from Clintonville, West Virginia. It's a geographically diverse Coker roster. A few players from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, West Virginia. One from the Bahamas, Valencia Demerit. 2-second difference between game and shot clock here. Harmon. Beautiful.
That's her move. She gets to the lane, and she's tough to guard on a little hesitation, and once she gets going downhill, it's tough to stop her.
Just the second bucket for her. Shot clock is off. Coker trying to extend this 2-point lead before halftime. Almost turn it over. Coley, desperation heave, and it almost went in. And that will take us to the end of the first half. The Bears shoot 60% from the field, perfect from three-point land, and yet trail by 2 here at the break to Coker, who, as you said, Jay-Z, in that second quarter, just really lit it up, 6 for 10 shooting, and outscored LR 19-12 in that second frame. So I think we've got a little halftime entertainment here for you. Because of the limited fan capacity here. Do have some halftime promotions coming up here. Looks like we've got a couple guys from the track team about to compete.
All right, fans, it's time for a Southside Power and Fitness contest. We have Lewis and Jacob. They have to do 10 jumping jacks and complete a layup.
This is the Southside Power and Fitness race. So these two contestants have to do 10 jumping jacks, 10 toe touches, and make a layup. Here goes Wadsworth. The track All-American is the winner of the Southside Power and Fitness race. Southside Power and Fitness provides an exclusive discount of almost 50% off for LR faculty, staff, and students. Experience what Southside has to offer at southsidepf.com. The only limit is you. 2-point lead for Coker at the break. Be back in about 13 minutes for second half action here on the Bear Sports Network.
Contestants, ready, set, go.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Everything the light touches will be yours. you must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy infrared technology socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
About 3 minutes before the second half rolls here inside Schuford Gymnasium. 2-point game between Coker and Lenoir-Rhyne at the break as we take a look at the halftime stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. And Jay-Z, I mean, look at those shooting numbers for the Bears. 60% from the field, 100% from three-point land, 50% from the free throw line, but not a ton of attempts to make that 50%, only 3 for 6, and yet they trail.
Yeah, if you erase that halftime score number and just left it blank, you'd think the Bears were probably up 10 points, double digits at least. But turnovers have been a bugaboo for them all season, and they've manifested themselves tonight with 10. But most of those came in the first quarter, and a lot of those came in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the first quarter. So not off to the strongest start, but when you shoot 7 of 8 in the first quarter and 60% in a half, you are accustomed to going into the break with a lead, and instead the Bears will be playing from behind in this one in the last 20 minutes.
And Coker did not shoot the ball well at all in the first quarter, but much better in the second quarter, 60% in that quarter, 47.8% for the game. The Cobras are led by Ashanti Nelson with 10 points. She hasn't missed a shot, 4 for 4 from the field, including a 3. And only 5 Cobras have scored, and only 6 Cobras scored in the first meeting between these two. A 15-point LR win back an eternity ago, it seems like, before Thanksgiving, just the second conference game of the season. But 10 total turnovers for the Bears in the first half, 7 for Coker, 3 bench points for LR, only 2 fast break points for the Bears and 0 for Coker. 16 of the Bears' 30 points have come in the paint, and LR is out-rebounding Coker by 2, 13-11. So that is the story of the first half. The second half about 60 seconds away. We'll take a short break and come back for it on the Bears Sports Network. Back here in the shoe, Eric Bach, Jeremy Zalaka, glad you are with us on this Saturday afternoon. Third quarter presented by Pepsi of Hickory, locally owned and operated since 1925. We thank you for filling your coolers with Pepsi this fall and winter, and thank you for allowing us to serve you all these years. Pepsi, born in the Carolinas, raised in Hickory.
It's a good thing they give you the reads.
I know, you don't have to memorize them.
You're a much better reader than me, too. The Carolina West one, I always get.
Oh.
The 4GLT.
Yeah. We'll get
twister.
there. We'll get there. We'll see if I can get through it without a stumble. It's a tough one.
Try and distract you.
Thank you.
Like a free throw shooter.
Yeah, appreciate that. First possession for Coker here in the third quarter. This is zone defense for the Bears. I'm sure of it.
2-3.
I'm sure of it.
Absolutely. You got this one right.
Yeah, 1 for 2. Shooting 50%. Lambert shoots and makes it a little bit better than 50%. The fifth 3 of the game for Coker.
That's one of the 2 things that are easier for the offense in the zone is you're going to get some outside looks and you might get some offensive rebounds. It's tough to rebound out of his zone, and Coker exploited one of those in an open three, and they got off the second half rolling.
First touch for Hudson. That was our matchup to watch. And Brandy wins the first matchup of the third quarter with Joyner.
Little up and under move by Brandy Hudson, and 14 points for her, just 18 for the rest of the squad.
That was some quick math there.
Yeah, that's right, man. I was practicing that all
Yeah,
half
okay.
night, just double
Her
checking
first
myself.
bucket, you were ready. Coley feeds Joyner. Dillinger on her in the zone. Great cut by Nelson, who drops in the floater.
Okay, so I think they've got the zone figured out here. Two good
Yeah.
possessions for Coker. We'll see how long Coach Smith sticks with that. Two wide open looks so far out of the break. Good. That was good zone offense there, too. Draw the post player out and get an open layup.
Dillinger off the bounce. And 3 seconds is called, I think.
I guess. I don't know. I was looking at this ref.
I didn't see which official even blew their whistle.
Yeah, I would imagine that was the call.
I think it was 3 seconds, yes. So the 11th turnover for LR. Still in the zone for now. Lambert again. Lambert hits again. Coker 3 for 3 to start the third quarter, and they have their largest lead of the game at 40-32.
Lambert is the zone beater herself. 2 3-pointers. One from the wing, one from the corner. And Coker's hit on all 3 possessions to start the second half.
Lambert only 25% from three-point land coming in, but 2 for 3 here today as Coley called for the foul there on the post entry to Maddie Dillinger. First foul of the quarter on either side. First foul on Rhea Coley as well. Harmon off the dribble handoff. LR's been so good off of inbound plays this year. Emily misses the shot. Dillinger an offensive rebound. Surrounded by gold jerseys. Too strong off the glass.
Good look there. A lot of effort from Maddie Dillinger on that, getting the board, getting the post move, and everything except the finish. She got a good look, just couldn't knock it down.
Back to man for LR. Woman to woman, I should say. Coley. They continue to light it up from the outside here in the third quarter. Timeout, Lenoir-Rhyne. What a shooting start here in the third for Coker. They're 4 for 4 from the field and 3 for 3 from 3. So we will take the timeout with the Bears. Falling behind by double digits here for the first time today with 7:21 to go in the third quarter on the Bears Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
An 11-2 run for the Coker Cobras here to start this second half. They haven't missed a shot in the second half, including 3 threes in a row. And they have the first double-digit lead of the day for either side, 43-32 over LR. Still an eternity left in this game, though, so no need to panic if you're the Bears. Lansettle, who got the start, turns it over. Joyner, full head of steam. Through contact, too strong. Dillinger chases down the rebound and again gets fouled by Nelson there on the rebound. This is the official signal, number 13 at first, but Nelson's number 12.
So they hit 4. They hit their first 4 to start, including 3 threes, and their first miss is one right in the
Is a
paint.
layup. Yep. That's how this game works.
Before that, Coker had hit 10 of their last 14 shots dating back to the start of the second quarter. According to my handy calculator app, that's 71.4%.
Wow.
I should have said
I was going to say, Crooks traveled. Yeah, you definitely.
According to mental math, that's 71.4%.
Math whiz Jay-Z.
Quick sub here for Coker. Mitchum re-enters.
13th turnover for LR. They haven't scored in 2 minutes and 45 seconds here in this third quarter. Joyner on Dillinger. Down the lane line. Too strong. Grabs her own miss and doesn't miss the second time. Sakita Joyner, one of the top rebounders in the SAC, scores just her third and fourth points today. Post feed to Dillinger, surrounded by gold jerseys. Long two for Harmon, rattles in.
Good inside-out offense right there. Maddie draws a double team, finds an open shooter. That's just good execution. You got your best player getting a look wide open. You'll take that every day.
Feels like the Bears need a lot from Emily Harmon offensively here in the second half to cut back into this deficit. Mitchum past Lansettle, and a whistle and a foul on Megan. Mariah Mitchum has been really good today for Melissa DeVore and the Cobras. Averages just over 4 points per game. 3 points today, but she's made a lot happen on the offensive end, including that foul. She buries the first free throw. Cobras 7 for 9 from the stripe today. Second one rattles out. Offensive rebound for a moment. Run down by Richardson.
That's tough. You get a point and another shot at offensive possession because of a failed box out. But just the third offensive rebound of the day for Coker.
Late shot clock. Mitchum passed up the shot. Should have taken it. Lambert will. Off the front iron, but another offensive rebound won by Hope Richardson. What a boost she's given off the bench. Open three for Kiesling. Finds the bottom. Fourth three-pointer of the third quarter for the Cobras. And all of a sudden, they're up by 15.
Effort right there. Good effort by Hope Richardson, grabbing 2 offensive rebounds on 1 possession, getting an open 3.
Harmon off the heel. Tried to answer and couldn't. 3 subs coming to the table for Graham Smith. 4 subs coming to the table for Graham Smith. Actually, all 5.
Yep, 5 out. Probably not happy with the energy and the execution of this 5. So let's try another one. As an offensive foul there whistled on Brandy Hudson, I believe.
It was on Kiesling of Coker.
Wrong team.
Wrong team.
What game am I watching?
New 5 on the floor for LR when you come back to the shoe, trying to figure out this 15-point deficit on the Bear Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
15-point lead for Coker over Lenoir-Rhyne here inside of Schuford Gymnasium. Third quarter has been all Coker. They've outscored LR 17-4 since the halftime break. They made 4 threes. Hannah McClung Just dropped Mitchum there. But it's a new 5 for the Bears. Stoll, McClung, Sherrill, Lidstrom, and McBride. Hannah Stoll fades away. That's a tough 2 as she spins it home.
She's definitely given LR some good minutes off the bench in her short time here with LR and looking to inject some energy.
Former Cobra. A little bit extra juice today for her, I'm sure.
Revenge game.
The all-SAC freshman team back at the beginning of her career with Coker. McClure 3. Missed everything. Back to the Bears. Hannah McClung, senior guard from Buckhannon, West Virginia. Missed the last 2 games, back in the lineup today. Lidstrom fouled. A little bit too handsy there was Lambert.
A little too aggressive on the defensive end. I think Coach Smith was asking for a smack on the wrist about 5 seconds before the foul call, so getting up a little too tight.
That's the 4th foul on Coker in the 3rd quarter, so the Bears will be in the bonus the rest of the way. 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the quarter. As Nelson comes back in for the Cobras. Sherrill won't take many threes. Stoll with 5 to shoot. McBride feeds Sherrill in the post. Has to hurry and will head to the free throw line as Richardson called for the bump. But Bears kind of bailed out there as wasn't much happening at the end of the shot clock. Now all of a sudden, after Coker got off to that scorching hot shooting start in the 3rd quarter, it's been nearly 2 minutes since the Cobras have scored as Sherrill misses the first free throw off right iron, coming off season-high 8 points Wednesday night in 23 minutes in the loss to Wingate. Junior from Statesville, just down the road, splits the pair. His Joyner will come back in for the Cobras, replacing Richardson, who gave Coker a big boost on the offensive glass.
Interesting statement made here by Coach Smith. He had his top 5 on the floor that all got taken out. So gutsy move down 13 when he made that line
down
shift.
15
when he made that line shift. He's got Hudson, Harmon, Dillinger. They're all on the bench right now. So just hoping this second squad can do something.
Before the shot, they say. A blocking foul called on Mallory Sherrill. Nelson off the screen. In rhythm. Hit every part of the rim but didn't go down.
Chance for LR to cut this to single-digit lead. See where they end up on this possession.
There's only down 2 at halftime as Sherrill traveled. That's got to be about the 5th or 6th travel called on LR in this game, and I've only disagreed with one of them. I mean, most of them are pretty obvious. 14 turnovers. Bears doubling up Coker in that category. Only 7 for the Cobras. Mitchum, crossover. Tried to give it off, was able to get it there, but McClure traveled herself.
You mentioned in the intro how important this game is. These two teams sitting at 11th and 12th right now in the conference standings with 1 game in between them. Trying to fight to get to that top 8 and make it to the conference tournament. This one would go a long way for both teams.
You don't necessarily want to be the 8th seed to see likely Wingate and Carson Newman playing right now. Check on that score heading into the 4th quarter. But those are the top 2 teams in the SAC meeting today down at Wingate. So Bulldogs yet to lose a conference game this season.
Wingate's up 44-33 in that one over Carson Newman. 4:20 left in the 3rd quarter.
Those are, the Bears are on a 3-game losing streak as McClung knocks down the first one, but 2 of the losses are to those 2 teams. So the Bears have played the top half of the sack, or the top 2 in the sack, just in the past week, as Hannah McClung gets it down to 10, as she was perfect on both free throws. The Bears continue a full court press. Still with this second 5 in the game. Graham Smith rolling with this 5 for now, and so far they've been able to slowly chip away at this deficit.
Yeah, you can't say more about this group. It's tough to come in down 15 with the other team hitting just about every shot they've been taking, and you're almost the last line of defense, and they've been able to chip away at this lead and cut it to 10 and play some nice defense along the way.
Nelson, tough shot. How many of those has she gotten today? She's been really good in midair. And 14 points now for Nelson, who only averages just under 7 a game.
Yeah, there was no defense for that shot.
Lidstrom looked like she got fouled. Maybe blocked by Nelson, they say. Big possession here defensively for the Bears. Kiesling, a 3. Off the mark. Rebound tipped back to the Bears off of Diamond Jackson, but a good box out there by Hannah Stahl.
Nelson's done it all on the floor tonight. 14 points, 4 boards, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block.
Only missed 1 shot, 6 of 7 from the floor.
In her 23 minutes of play.
Back in her home state of North Carolina, playing really well. McBride picked up the dribble, gets it to Cheryl with 10 on the shot clock. Tilda Lindstrom off the bounce. Cheryl with the left hand. Back to 10. Nelson ripped by Stull. Between 2 defenders. Off the glass and in. A burst of energy for the Bears.
Big defensive possession here for LR. Down 8. This is probably the last offensive possession for Coker of this quarter. So you can get a stop and a bucket. This momentum is starting to swing a little bit.
Trying to carry it into the fourth quarter. 8 to shoot. Joyner. Blocking foul called. Restricted area might have been a factor there, as Mallory Sherrill gets called for her second blocking foul of the quarter. Both of them against Joyner, as Hudson will come back in for Sherrill. And now 2 for 3s. That one's off the heel.
Good jinx right there. It's all you.
The announcer jinx works both ways, I think. A little 9-2 spurt. Coker's only scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes after that red-hot start to the quarter, as Joyner gets the second. Lead is back to 9. Shot clock is off for the Bears. If they want it, they will get the last look of this third quarter. Emily Harmon, the reigning SAC freshman of the year, gets some space to the rim. Too strong. Rebounded by Coker with 2. And they will just dribble out the rest of this third quarter. The lead was 2 at halftime for the Cobras. Now it's 9 as we head to the fourth quarter. Even though Coker struggled on offense the last 5 minutes of that quarter, they still outscore the Bears in that third quarter 20-13. And will try to break a 6-game losing streak in the final 10 minutes when you come back to the Shoe on the Bears Sports Network.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Back Back of the shoe, fourth quarter presented by Carolina West Wireless. Fastest speeds, national 4G LTE coverage at a hometown price. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Bears.
Nailed it.
9-point lead for Coker. Trying to break a 6-game losing streak here as the schedule softens up a bit for the Cobras. Both these two teams have been consistently playing against the top of the league. Harmon passed up the 3. Shot fake. Lidstrom traveled.
Yeah, dragged that pivot foot. I think Emily, if we had that one back, Emily kind of had a look at the basket when she was driving baseline, but not a bad idea to draw and kick, and Lidstrom would have had an open look.
Still some full court press for the Bears. They have the one bucket off of it by Hannah Stoll.
Just trying to get Coker out of rhythm here, like they're starting an offensive set here with only 18 on the shot clock.
Lambert, who had 2 threes in a row in that third quarter, drives this time and gets right past Harmon for the deuce.
Yeah, that's a little too easy. Got by Emily baseline. Not much of a contest on that layup, and it's now double digits.
Hudson answers. Her first bucket in a while. Cuts it back to 9, but trading baskets is not going to do it for the Bears here down the stretch.
That's where you want to trap right there.
And they do. Lambert throws it away. Lots of numbers for LR. McClung got a little fancy with the Euro step and missed it off the glass. Rebound to Coker.
Good on-ball defense here by Hannah.
She's been intense. You can just see it in her eyes in her return after she missed the last 2. Coley fell down.
8 to shoot.
Joyner into the chest of McClung. Offensive foul. Hannah McClung earned that charge call.
She's the senior leader on this squad, the point guard. Even though she's missed a couple games, she's making big plays in the fourth quarter. Good to have her back out there.
Megan Lansettle back in. So Harmon, Hudson, Stoll, Lansettle, and McClung, the Bear 5 right now. Hudson was held up as she tried to cut to the basket there by Joyner. But I think Coker's okay with that foul because
that was an easy layup.
Hudson would have had a wide open look. Second foul of the quarter on the Cobras. Another wide open chance for Hudson. Lansettle off the short iron.
I'm not sure what kind of defense Coker was in there, but
I don't think they knew.
2 players were wide open. LR just couldn't knock it down. Plenty of time here left. No reason to panic, but you want to start knocking down some of those open looks.
Joyner with the smaller Stoll on her. Looked
That's
like she traveled, and she did. That's got to be double-digit combined travels in this game.
A lot of traveling. Frequent flyer miles.
Nice.
I see you smiling over there. Don't try and hold that laugh.
The dad jokes. Harmon puts her shoulder down, almost traveled herself. Hudson, that head fake between 2 defenders and just runs into a Cobra and gets the benefit of the whistle as Kiesling is called for the foul.
It seems like Brandy just seeks out contact sometimes.
She sure does.
She's always in the middle of it.
JUCO transfer from Kankakee Community College in Chicago, where she was an All-American. Her 7th free throw attempt of the day.
And really, good scorers find ways to get to the free throw line.
Yep.
And that's where Brandy makes a lot of her contributions, is just getting to that line, drawing fouls, getting into the bonus. There's already 3 fouls on Coker in this quarter.
Lead is back to 7 now. Hudson's got 18 points. She's the only Bear in double figures.
Press has been effective for LR.
It has. Gotten a couple steals, but you mentioned it earlier, it's just disrupted Coker. And there's another steal for Stoll. Hudson doesn't have the numbers, but will go anyway. And an offensive foul. official was delayed on making the call, but it's a charge on Brandy Hudson.
Tough call there. Tough call. There was contact.
And the LR students in attendance are making their displeasure with the call known.
But this press is definitely taking Coker out of their rhythm. They're working so hard just to get the ball over half court as Emily Harmon gets her hands on that one, and we might have a jump ball.
And a held ball we do. And they give a timeout to Coker before the held ball.
Well, it would have been Coker's possession on the jump ball anyways, but it would have been nice to have that flip back to LR's way for the ensuing jump ball after that one, but Coker would have regained possession either way.
And with the timeout, the Cobras buy themselves a new 10 seconds to get it across. We'll take a short break and come right back on the Bears Sports Network.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
Back here inside the shoe, the lead that was once 15 for Coker here in the third quarter has been cut down to 7 with 7:05 to go in this one. What is a absolute must-win for both of these teams as we move into the later stages of the SAC schedule for both of these teams. Nelson, offensive foul.
Another turnover created by this pressure defense by Lenoir-Rhyne and really throwing Coker out of sync. They were hitting everything for about 2 straight quarters and haven't been able to figure out this press.
Haven't scored in over 2.5 minutes now has Coker.
They've only attempted 1 shot in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been a lot of turnovers and a lot of sloppiness on offense. Harmon from the short corner buries it. 8 points for Emily, back to 5. Ball stays with Coker there. Mitchum lucky to hold on to it as she dribbled into that trap here on this near sideline.
These Coker possessions have just been disjointed, and even when they get it over, except for that one right there.
Diamond Jackson.
Didn't catch it cleanly. She would have had an easy look if she did, but
Nelson pulls a 3 and banks it in.
Unconscious.
She has found the favor of the rim today. A lot of favorable bounces, but 17 points for her.
7 of 8 shooting, too.
Hudson gets past her defender and to the free throw line. Fouls on Jackson. That's her first. And the 5th on Coker. So that's big because with 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go, LR's will be shooting free throws on every foul down the stretch, unless it's an offensive foul. Hudson off the heel with the first free throw. Bears have attempted 13 free throws today, and Hudson has shot 9 of them. She's only 5 for 9. Splits the pair as Hope Richardson comes back in. Replaces Diamond Jackson. She gave the Cobras a big boost on the offensive glass in the third quarter. So it's back to 7. Bears still in the full court press. This time, Coker deals with it much better.
That's a good press break right there.
Lambert, open 3 for Mitchum.
Left that one a little bit short. Brandy Hudson grabs the rebound.
McClung, elbow jumper, wide open, just a bit short. Richardson corrals the rebound. Fancy dribbling from Kiesling to break the press. And now Coker wisely using a lot of the shot clock on these possessions. Kiesling beats her initial defender, and Hudson on the help side defense commits a foul, and she looks to be a little gimpy after that.
He took a knee to the, maybe a little Charlie horse action.
Holding her left hip. But she
stretching it out.
Will stay in the game, I think, but I think you're right. Some Charlie horse action there as Kiesling knocks down the first free throw. But Joyner's got 4 fouls for Coker. So she's on the bench right now. That was the 3rd on Hudson. She's the only Bear with 3. 2 perfect free throws there for Kiesling as Blakely Crooks will come back in.
Hannah Stahl with some great minutes for Lenoir-Rhyne off the bench here today. Good stuff on the press, getting some baskets, 3 of 3 from the field, a couple steals.
Harmon off a double screen, can't get the roll. Richardson has been great on the glass, gets fouled as she...
That's a great rebound right there. Textbook, they tell you when you're taller than everybody else, keep that ball up. Don't bring it down to where the guards can steal it. She got that board, kept it high, and got a foul call.
Shorter Blakely Crooks whistled for the foul. That's the 3rd team foul on the Bears of the quarter. Nelson in the middle of traffic. Jump ball.
That's where that jump ball came back.
It does, because Coker was granted the timeout the last time they called the held ball, so the arrow didn't switch. So it's with Coker this time, but the arrow's a good thing to have in the last 5 minutes of the game. If you're the Bears. The lead is still 9 for the Cobras. Mitchum off the bounce. Good defense by McClung. Forced the shot to go wild. And now Harmon.
A transition offense here. Oh,
ooh, they say a foul on Lambert. And Coker, Melissa DeVore can't believe it.
I was just about to say good transition defense there, but
Harmon had a player open in the corner and opted to keep the ball herself, but now the best free throw shooter in the South Atlantic Conference goes to the line and gets the friendly roll on the first one. Yeah, that's a tough one if you're a Cobra fan. Harmon perfect. She's now 48 for 52 from the free throw line this season. Press still on for the Bears.
Coker starting to break it a little bit easily, but the other thing with the press that we talked about is it makes you start your offense a lot later in the shot clock. So now there's only 12 to get one up.
Stop and start for Kiesling. And free throws coming for the sophomore from Ennis, North Carolina.
Whistled against Blakely Crooks. That's now 3 on her. So you mentioned Harmon had 3, and now Blakely Crooks joins her with 3 fouls.
Hudson with the 3.
That's what
Harmon's got 1.
That's what I meant. That's pretty sure that's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Kiesling knocks down the first. She's into double figures. 3 Cobras in double figures now.
Yeah, she's done some nice stuff today, too. Ball handling, helping break the pressure, hitting some shots, getting to the basket.
She's perfect from the free throw line, too. 4 for 4. Back to 9. Hudson doubled. Good defense there by Richardson to stay straight up. And an empty possession for the Bears.
Lambert with the ball, and she really got Coker started in the second half. She hit those 2 early 3-pointers, and Coker really hasn't looked back since.
Here she is, off the bounce. Harmon, as Lambert falls down on the ball, and a timeout called by Coker. That's 2 times in this second half that the officials have granted Coker a timeout as they were about to lose the ball.
We're just not destined to get this jump
Nope.
ball.
The arrow is just
unkind.
Will stay with the Bears the rest of the game, I think.
So I think she got a 30-second timeout.
She did.
And Coker will regain possession now, 9-point game. Only 11 to shoot, so got to draw something up relatively quickly out of this timeout.
Take this timeout to tell you about Emerge Ortho, the official sports medicine provider for the Bears, with 45 locations in 21 counties from the mountains to the coast. Emerge Ortho, the first slip-up, is North Carolina's premier provider, providing world-class, comprehensive, and compassionate care for Lenoir-Rhyne student-athletes.
Just a matter of time.
We're imperfect creatures here.
You're on your high horse after that. Carolina West Reed.
The Emerge Ortho one is longer is the problem, so more opportunities to make a mistake. 11 on the shot clock for the Cobras. Joyner back in with 4 fouls. Trapped in the corner.
5 to shoot. I'm not sure if they know that.
Mitchum has to let one go. Missed it long, but it will stay with the Cobras as Coley was on the offensive glass and Lancettle knocked it out of bounds, so a fresh 20 for Coker.
That's a tough one right there. You did everything right in that defensive possession except get the defensive board, and now Coker's got another shot at it.
3.5 to go. Still time for the Bears to come back, but it's quickly ticking away. Coley missed the rim as it clanked off the backboard, and then Coley whistled for the foul.
Combined with the bad shot and the foul, that's a tough possession there for Coley. It's going to send LR to the free throw line. Chance to score with the clock stopped is exactly what you need for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Hannah McClung will do the honors. 6 for 8 from the stripe this season for the senior from West Virginia. 2 shots. That one never had a chance, way short off her hand. But not a good time for the Bears to make only 1 out of their last 6 shots. McClung misses both. The rebound fought for. So massive bodies in the lane, and Coker ends up with it. Cobra's trying to get some revenge for a 15-point loss to the Bears down in Hartsville back in November. Coley off the bounce, blocked by Lancettle.
2 rejections tonight for Megan, and could have had a third, but got whistled for a foul.
This one didn't go off of anyone's face. Megan went viral after last game after she volleyball spiked the ball off a Carson Newman player's face out of bounds. There's a driving layup for Kiesling, and for the first time in a while, the deficit is double digits again.
Yeah, that's a big basket there for Coker to push this back up to 11. Lenoir-Rhyne has to execute here in the last 2:30, make the most out of every offensive possession.
Hudson on the block. Gets around Joyner, who has those 4 fouls, can't defend as tightly as she would like to. Brandy gets the bucket to give herself 21 points on the night now. And a timeout for Graham Smith is a 30-second timeout. If you want official LR apparel, make sure to visit Custom Design Group just down the street from campus, in person or online at lrwear.com. Custom Design Group is the official apparel provider of LR Athletics. But Graham Smith can draw up all the offensive plays that he wants, but if the Bears don't get stops on defense, it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, they're going to stay in this press, which has been effective in this 4th quarter. Try and get a steal off of it. Obviously, with the time starting to run down a little bit, you'll prioritize getting the steal as opposed to making them work a full 30 seconds on the offensive end, but you got to get a stop regardless of how it comes. Whether it's a quick steal or a 30-second stop, now is not the time to have any defensive breakdowns.
Still in the press. Coker's got to hurry, and they get it across. Lambert almost threw it into the backcourt. A good catch there by Kiesling. 10 to shoot. Screen from Joyner. Harmon pokes it away. Now Coker has to hurry. Mitchum, corner 3. That was a
big
that
miss
could have
right
been the
there.
dagger
Yeah,
right
big
there
miss.
if that goes down for Coley.
That was a great play by Mitchum, too, going to the basket. She saw she had the corner jumper open. She could have forced one up with 2 seconds on the clock, but knew the time well enough that a corner jumper was going to get up before the shot clock expired.
Hudson gets past Joyner. Counted and a foul. Brandy putting the offensive burden on her shoulders here in the fourth quarter. And this game is far from over. She had a career-high 27 points a week ago here against Carson Newman. She's got 23 now with one free throw coming, so the Bears hope she can surpass that career high. That probably means some good things for LR results-wise. Got to have this, and she gets it. Back to 6, so just a 2-possession ball game right now. The trap. Held ball, back to LR. Are we sure? Any timeouts called? All right.
We've been waiting for it for 6 minutes now.
As Crooks will come back in.
And really, you couldn't ask for a better time to get that turnover. So
No.
I guess we'll trade the other ones in for this one right here. And
playing the long game.
now you got to convert. We had this set up all along. I think this was Graham's
right.
plan.
Almost a turnover, and it is off of McClung. Two officials will get together. I thought it was off McClung.
You know what? From this
But
angle, which
and
we
we're-
have the same angle
we're
as the ref that
sitting-
made that
We're
call.
sitting right behind the LR bench here, and the official who made the call, and they give it
over
back
to
to
it.
the Bears. Whew, that
Good thing we don't
fortunate.
have any replay at this level yet.
Yeah, I had the same instant reaction to that as the official did. But the Bears will take it.
Yeah, you got to go to Harner.
Another
go
touch. Brandy Hudson.
Yep.
Free throws coming. And this is the ideal scenario, scoring with the clock stopped if you're LR.
Yeah, the ball's got to go to Hudson pretty much every offensive possession here, unless you need a three-pointer, which she already hit one in the game today. So I think she's got to have her hands on it at least once, if not twice, in every offensive possession.
She's perfect on the first free throw. And gets the roll on the second. Back to 4. 87 seconds to go. Tipped there by Harmon. But this press, you said it, even in the third quarter, this press has been really
Coker's
good
helping
for
us
the
out
Bears.
too, and getting it to the places that you don't want the ball on the press. You want it in the corner. You don't want it, one step over half court, and they've been caught there a couple of times.
4 seconds to get it over. And they do. Coley. Got to have another stop here if you're the Bears. Kiesling. Single digits. Got to be in Nelson's hands, you think. Here she comes down the lane line. Tough two. Too strong. Rebound to Harmon. There's the stop. Now Bears need a bucket. Hudson. Crossover to the rim. Free throws on its way. Brandy Hudson has shot 13 free throws already in this game, and 2 more coming with a 4-point deficit and 52.6 to go.
One possession game now for Lenoir-Rhyne, and this is a big one because you want to hit this and you want to be able to stay in this press defense, which you can press on a made free throw right here. And she knocks it down. Coker's been having a tough go of it. Let's see if they can break the press here.
Career high, 28 points for Hudson. Ball is loose in the hands of McClung. Too strong with the layup, but Stoll runs it down. Timeout, LR. What a turn of events here.
And who
down
else
the
but Hannah
stretch.
McClung to come away with that steal? The defensive leader, the senior leader, the point guard. Big play in a big situation, getting LR the ball back. And now you got to draw something up.
Feels like it's got to be Hudson,
Yeah,
as
there's
it
no
has
surprise.
been. I mean, she's 8 for 12 from the field and 11 for 15 from the free throw line. Career high 28 points for Brandy.
LR on a 9-0 run over the last 203, and a lot of it's been because of Hudson. And like you said, I think she's got to have a touch here. Everything in this second half, when she's got a touch, good things have happened for Lenoir-Rhyne. And whether it's drawing a foul for herself, getting to the line, or, she'll probably start drawing a double team here, I'd imagine. Coach DeVore over there might be drawing up a double team on the post entry, but that just means somebody's going to be open out on the perimeter.
This would be a big confidence-boosting win for the Bears as the schedule lightens up quite a bit moving forward. This is their last home game until February 5th, but 4 straight road games coming, including a couple makeup games at Lincoln Memorial in Queens. But Mars Hill is a team they haven't played yet this year. Tusculum is a team they played tough. So if the Bears can find a way to get this one, it could lead to more these next few weeks.
Yep. And you got 43 seconds to try and figure out a way to pull this one out. This would have been a tough one for Coker to swallow if they don't come away with it, and LR has it in their sights as well, so it could come down to either way.
Harmon, Crooks, Hudson, McClung, and Lancettle, the Bear 5.
There it is.
Hudson pivots, goes up, misses short. Ball is loose and in the hands of Coker. Bears will press. Mitchum. And an offensive foul called. Nelson whistled for it. Crooks took it. What a huge call. Wow. Right in front of the Coker bench, and Melissa DeVore just can't believe it.
Goodness. That's a tough one to go against Coker. I'm not sure she even had the chance to land on that one, but
yeah, that's a tough call. But the Bears will take it.
With another chance.
Shot clock is off.
Same pretty much set. Crooks down to
Hudson doubled. Looked like she got fouled, and she did. So a chance for Brandy Hudson to tie the game with 2 free throws coming as Mitchum is called for the reach-in. Stoll will come in for Crooks, but what a turn of events. Coker's had so many chances to ice this game away, and they just have not been able to do it.
Yeah, a couple late turnovers in the last 45 seconds of this one. Some fouls, some defensive breakdowns, struggling with the press, but let LR hang around, and you want to be able to put a team away when you can put them away, and Coker has not been able to put us away, so that's why LR is still hanging around, 2-point game, and Hudson can tie this thing up.
Brandy 11 for 15 from the free throw line today. Needs both of these for the tie.
Coker's got to box out hard on this one, too.
It's the roll, and we're tied at 63. Timeout, Coker with 15.3. And remember, in the women's game, the ball can get advanced. So Coker doesn't have to deal with the press anymore.
I was just going to say, that might be the only way they're going to break the press is just calling a timeout and not having to deal with it. But they have the chance for the last possession.
They do. An 11-0 run for the Bears over the last 2:32 has tied this game at 63. It was 63 to 52 at about the 3.5, 4-minute mark of this game. And the Bears have come storming back. 30 points for Brandy Hudson. She has just done everything for the LR these past few minutes, but basically the entire game on offense.
Well, now Coker they got to execute for 15 seconds. And this is a possession where you want to take your time. You want to make sure you get a good shot, but you want to give yourself a chance to get an offensive rebound. You don't want to shoot it too late. You don't want to shoot it too early, because the last thing you want is LR going down with a chance to win the game. You want to be able to either win it or send it to overtime right now. Yeah. So you want to probably hold the ball for about 10 of these seconds, maybe 11, start going to the basket, 4 or 5 second mark, get something up, try and get an offensive rebound, offensive putback, or just hit the first shot. I would think Nelson might have a touch in this one. She's probably been their best player tonight. Joyner's probably one of their best players overall. Kessling has done a good job tonight with the ball. One of those three, with maybe Lambert on the perimeter.
Despite all of their struggles these past few minutes, Coker's still a chance to win the game right here. They get it in to Kessling. Here she drives to the rim. misses it wildly. Joyner the offensive rebound. That's too strong. Timeout LR as Stoll grabbed the rebound.
And that's exactly what we just said.
Wow.
That Coker didn't want to happen is shooting it too early and giving Lenoir-Rhyne a chance to win this one. And they got 2 shots up in 9 seconds. Neither of them finds the bottom, and who else but Hannah Stoll grabbing that rebound, getting a quick timeout. Lenoir-Rhyne now, a chance to win it.
Melissa DeVore beside herself that a foul wasn't called on either of those shots down there, but I thought it was good defense.
Yeah, no. Good D by LR, and that's how they got back into this thing, and that was what we talked about. One of the keys of the game was the defensive end, and left a little bit to be desired in the first 3 quarters, but Lenoir-Rhyne definitely stood up here in the fourth quarter, held Coker to 3 of 12 shooting, and got right back into this with defense and then some offensive execution. So I think it's got to be Hudson again with 6 seconds to go, find a way to get her the ball, or Emily Harmon, one of those two.
Here we go. Crooks will trigger in front of the bench. McClung. Harmon traveled, they say. Oh, she didn't put it on the floor in time. I don't know. What a time for that. And now Coker, another chance to win the game with 3.9. I would love to see a replay of that. Wow.
This has been unbelievable.
Ball's into Lambert. 2 seconds. Joyner runs out of time. They didn't even get a shot off.
Right,
and we are going to overtime.
The last 15 seconds weren't a thing of beauty on either end.
Goodness.
So let's just add 5 minutes to this thing and see who will survive.
This is the second game you've done with me this year, and both of them have gone to overtime, by the way, I would like to point out.
So I'm the jinx. I'll be resigning after this.
The first one was against Wingate, which
we had. It was kind of the opposite of this one, where Lenoir-Rhyne led most of it until
Wingate
chipped away and tied it and sent it to overtime. And this one's kind of the inverse of that, with Coker holding the lead most of it, with LR chipping away. And that 11-0 run, when's the last time Coker scored here? It's been 2:45 of an 11-0 run. Yeah, Coker scoreless for 2:45. One of their last 10 shooting.
The Kiesling layup, that driving layup that she had, was the last points the Cobras scored. But the travel on Harmon as the Bears tried to get in their last possession, and then Joyner not even getting a shot off before the buzzer. It was not exactly the epitome of execution there on offense the last few minutes, or the last few seconds of this game. This very important game for both of these two, trying to climb back into the top 8 of the SAC and get into the conference tournament. So 5 minutes to decide it. Overtime presented by Paramount Automotive. You should be driving a Hyundai from Paramount Hyundai in Hickory, where every new Hyundai comes standard with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Shop online for new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs at ParamountHyundai.com. Hair on fire the past few minutes of game time. A little bit of atmosphere in here. You got player guests and LR students that have been boosted allowed in the building.
It's like the track and field team over there doing
football guys.
Yeah.
I saw Dwayne McGee, the All-American running back for the Bears, jumping up and down over there earlier.
Wish we had full capacity, and hopefully we will again soon, but for now, family, friends, and students going to have to will us through this last 5 minutes.
But wherever you may be watching, we're glad you're here. As overtime is underway, the first possession to LR. Klong to Hudson. One-on-one with Joyner. To the rim, and a foul.
And 5th foul on Joyner, so you get a 3-point play and you foul out. Joyner, huge start for Lenoir-Rhyne.
An and one for Hudson, and Joyner's 5th foul, so you can't really ask for much more if you are the Bears. So Joyner fouls out with just 7 points and 5 rebounds, so a pedestrian night for her by her standards. as Hudson completes the three-point play. She has 33 points. Emily Harmon has the most points in a game this year by a sack player with 39. Hudson could be chasing that number here. Press still on for the Bears. And almost a turnover is stolen. Hudson crashed into each other, falling out of bounds. It'll stay with Coker.
A little bear-on-bear crime there.
Yeah, Hudson's a little bit worse for wear. She's taken a beating today, but she's persevered through it as shoes untied, shirts untucked.
18 free throw attempts.
It's a ragtag night for Brandy Hudson.
Battling out there.
Ball is tipped by Emily Harmon and will stay with Coker.
You know, I think if you're probably a Coker backer, it doesn't feel good right now because they just haven't been able to handle this pressure defense. Can't get a ball in bounds. Can't get through the traps. Haven't been able to execute for over 3 minutes now.
Don't forget, we've got the men's game coming up 25 minutes after this one ends, but long way to go here still. Lambert, crossover, down the lane line. Floater, too strong. Hudson the rebound. Another touch for Hudson. More free throws coming for Brandy. This will be attempts number 19 and 20 from the foul line for Hudson.
It's a lot of free throw attempts.
And the Bears for the game only have 26 free throw attempts, so only 6 for anyone not named Brandy Hudson as Hope Richardson comes back into the game for Coker. Brandy's 14 for 18 from the stripe. And the 2 free throws that she made with 15 seconds to go, the reason why the Bears even got it to overtime. Now they lead by 5.
16-0 extended run dating back to the end of the fourth quarter. Coker all out of sorts with this press.
Hasn't scored in over 4 minutes of game time. Cobras have to hurry, and they barely get it across in time.
Only 15 to shoot. Nothing going offensively yet, just pounding the ball into the court.
Coley,
Not much
4 to
movement
shoot.
here. Yep.
Picks up her dribble. Lambert, the shot clock runs out. They had no awareness. And another turnover for Coker. Just disastrous down the stretch on offense for the Cobras. They got 2 opportunities at a game-winning shot at the end of regulation. Didn't even get one off at the buzzer and have absolutely no awareness of the shot clock there and turn it over when they really needed a bucket.
Now they're pretty much backs against the wall here. You probably have to get a stop to feel like you still have a chance in this one, especially when you haven't scored for about 4.5 minutes now.
The screen from Hudson. Harmon, lots of space to the rim, off the glass and in. 12 points for Harmon. It's been a quiet 12, but a steal. The press again, and Harmon wisely backs it out to chew some time off this clock. Harmon, stop and start. Just a little bit short. Lansittle draws the held ball, but it'll stay with the Cobras.
I like the aggressiveness there by Emily Harmon, but there's still 18 seconds to shoot on that one. You probably want to bleed that clock down, maybe just a little bit longer, but she had a path to the basket. She got a good look. You can't really fault her too much.
Scoreless streak has reached 5 minutes for Coker. Kiesling, crossover, back to the basket. Lambert a 3, and they finally break the streak.
Needed.
Lambert's third 3 of the second half in overtime cuts it back to 4 and provides a spark of hope for Coker.
Yeah, staying alive there. Big shot by Lambert. Gets her into double-digit scoring for the night.
Hudson doubled, turns it over. Good defense there by Coker. weathered the storm the past couple possessions and can cut this down to one possession with a basket here. Lambert left open, didn't take the shot, and a foul on Hudson in the post.
That's going to be 4 on her
That's,
now.
yep, her 4th.
And shooting foul for Coker.
And Hope Richardson will shoot 2 as that's the 5th foul of the 4th quarter in overtime on LR. So, bonus coming.
Richardson's only 55% free throw shooter, so don't feel too bad sending her to the line, making them earn it. But she does.
Only 55%.
That's what I just said?
Yeah.
Just reiterating.
Thank you. Splits the pair, so right about on par. But it's a one-possession game, 70-67. Bears could use a bucket here.
Mitchum out on an island here against Emily Harmon.
And now with 10 on the shot clock, Harmon will go. Emily picks it up and turns it over. Tried to get it to Hudson and couldn't. Coker can tie with a 3, but don't really need one at this point.
Unless they get an open
Kiesling
look.
will take one and bury it. We're tied at 70.
This has been an unbelievable game.
Madness in the shoe.
Not the prettiest, not the most well executed.
No.
But
madness all the same.
Thrilling.
McClung, straightaway 3. Missed everything. And now, all of a sudden, with 60 seconds to go, Coker can take the lead back after they looked dead in the water at the beginning of overtime.
They got to break this press, which they've had issues with. And that's not where you want to go with it. Oh,
and
you
a
got
timeout called by Coker. Oh, my goodness. That's the third time?
That's a
Coker's
great timeout call
yeah.
by Coach DeVore. She
saw
sensed, yep,
that Kiesling was
danger.
trapped and called the timeout. Her timing has been impeccable
sure.
on those timeout calls
Absolutely.
tonight. So 54 seconds, tie game. I mean, Coker's got a lot of options. They could go to Lambert. I would go to Nelson if it were me.
She's been pretty quiet here in the last stretch of the fourth quarter and into overtime. She was, she's 7-9. I'd like to see when the last time she even attempted a field goal was.
Yeah, her and Kiesling with 17 each. Lambert with 13. Those are the 3 Cobras in double figures.
Kiesling's your best ball handler. She's been running the point. I think it's probably hers to either create for herself or create for a teammate, try and get to the basket. Plenty of time, 24 seconds on the shot clock, so don't need to rush anything here. Try and get a good look. Lenoir-Rhyne defensively, make sure you box out. You don't want to give up an offensive rebound on this possession. And, lock down. We talked about it in the end of regulation, and now in overtime. You got 54 seconds. Who can execute in this last 54 seconds is going to win.
And Coker, after they broke that 5-minute-plus scoring streak with 6 straight points, now has not allowed a point in 2.5 minutes to the Bears. So,
game of runs in this one.
Sure is.
Highs of highs to the lows of lows.
24 on the shot clock, 54 on the game clock. Lambert to the rim. Cobra's back in front. I got to say, I didn't see that coming the way this overtime started for Coker.
9-0 spurt for the Cobras to take a 2-point lead.
Got to be Harmon or Hudson. It's Hudson. She's doubled. Stolen the corner with 10 to shoot. Back to Hudson. Reach in and
defense.
Nelson steals it on the help side. Jump ball, back to the Bears.
That was great defense by Nelson.
It was. She timed her, whatever you call that, steal, her lunge perfectly.
As soon as Hudson put it on the floor and had her back to Nelson, she waited until Hudson turned her head, went in there, made the reach, got the clean steal, but alert play by LR to tie it up and get them the possession.
And now the shot clock is off as Graham Smith will take a timeout because the ball, Coker had possession and then was tied up. So with the reset, the shot clock turns off with 22.4. So the Bears can tie it with a 2, win it with a 3. But Coker wisely down the stretch here has been doubling Brandy Hudson. She's got 35 points.
Yeah,
and
have to.
The Bears have to probably look elsewhere. If Hudson's going to be doubled, somebody's open.
Yeah. Coach DeVore did what she had to do. You
Yeah.
have to double team Brandy Hudson. You can't, she has 35 points.
Yeah.
At this point, we have players that can beat you, but right now, Brandy Hudson is beating you. So you have to make someone else make a play, and she should get double teams anytime she gets a touch right now, and you force an LR shooter to make a jump shot or somebody make a cut to the basket to try and make a play. But with 22 seconds, again, you have plenty of time. You want to make sure you get a good shot in this situation. You like to have the ball in Emily Harmon's hands to start to try and get a post entry into Brandy Hudson and have a little two-person game there and see what can come of it.
Do you run it all the way down, or you take the shot with like 7 or 8 seconds?
When you're down, I think you got to get the best shot you can get, and time is less of a factor. But you have to be able to have enough time to foul and send them to the free throw line and have a chance. Should you come up short on the offensive end, you still have to give your team a chance. So I think maybe a 10-second mark, 8-second mark, but really the time of when your shot goes up it's more so executing the offensive set and getting a good look.
Harmon, Hudson, McClung, Lancenal, and Crooks, the 5 for the Bears. And a foul there on Mitchum will send Hannah McClung to the free throw line as Mitchum held her up as she tried to cut to the ball. This game is unbelievable.
That's what they'd call the old nickel and dimer right there, though. I'm not sure there was enough contact with 22 seconds to warrant free throw attempts, but that was the call, and now Hannah McClung stepping to the line. 2 for 4 today, but she needs to go 2 for 2 right here. Still enough time that even if she didn't make both
22.4 is an eternity.
Now we can't decide who's going to stay on the lower block.
Perfect on the first. What a big senior moment this would be for Hannah McClung.
Nothing by net on that one. She's not fazed by this.
And she's perfect on both, and we're tied at 72.
Didn't even draw iron on either one of those 2 free throw attempts. Calmly buries a pair. She's been through the wars in this gym for 4 years now.
Missed the last 2, but Bears are glad to have her back today. Another chance for Coker to win the game.
And here's the player they want. The ball in her hands right now.
Kiesling. To the rim, to the line.
Much better execution there by Coker than when they had the ball at the end of regulation. They shot twice too quickly with a couple wild shots. This one, they ran it down to 4 seconds. Got a switch off a high pick and roll. Got to the basket, got a good look, and now they're going to the free throw line to try and take the lead with 4 seconds.
Kieslings gives Coker the lead, at least by 1. She's misses the second. Bears got to go, down 1. Hudson, McClung for the win. Short. Coker holds on and breaks their 6-game losing streak inside the shoe. What a game. And the Cobras, after they nearly gave it away at the end of regulation, they were behind by a lot to start overtime, weathered the storm, came all the way back, got some clutch shooting, some clutch defense, and some good execution down the stretch to escape Hickory with a 1-point win.
10-2 run in the last 3:15. They were pretty much grasping for anything at that point. They hadn't scored in 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden they reel off a 10-2 run to take the lead and ultimately sneak out of here with a victory. A much-needed win for the Cobras. Leaves LR reeling a little bit.
But it was a unbelievable performance for Brandy Hudson as we take a look at our stats for her. 35 points, 6 rebounds, 16 made free throws, 16 for 20 from the free throw line, 9 for 14 from the field. she gave the Bears everything she had tonight, but just not enough offense elsewhere for LR to come out on top tonight. As take a look at Coker's leading scorer as well. It was Ashanti Nelson, 17 points for her, but a lot of them were tough contested shots right at the rim, and they had just enough of them at the end of the day to escape Hickory with a 1-point win. As we take a look now at our final stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. Bears finished shooting 50% from the field, 50% from three-point land, 76% from the free throw line. Those are winning numbers on offense, but they just could not find a way to put this one away at the end.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Coker made one more play than Lenoir-Rhyne, and that's really all it came down to. I think either side would take 50% shooting, and Coker even shooting 46% and 48% from three. I think you take that any day of the week as well. And at the end of the day, it came down to one play with 4 seconds left, and LR had the chances, and Coker had their chances, and it was bound to come through one time, and it was Kessling that gave Coker the win, the much-needed road win, snuck it out. Now they're able to try and right their season a little bit.
Big win for the Cobras. If the men's game coming up is half as exciting as that one, we should be in for a treat. About 23 minutes to go until that one, but for now, we will say so long on the Bears Sports Network.